Well, here we are, episode number 7 for Rolf Hitzer behind the for sale sign. As you can see, I have spared no expense on my props. Got a lovely plastic lawn chair and a Rolf Hitzer for sale sign. That's a lot of money spent just to look good on this show. I've got I hope, kind of a fun episode today, episode number 7. Tales from the Dark Basement. I'm going to share 2 true stories. These just happened recently, and I thought it'd be fun to share, even though when it happened, it was not fun on one of them. The other one was quite serious. Actually, both were quite serious, but one was kind of fun. Thank God the problem was resolved because I had a chuckle afterwards. My first story from the Tales from the Dark Basement is short-term rentals. One of the trends in people buying homes is having a basement that's developed and being used as Airbnb, just to pick the most common short-term rental option available. But people are doing it for condos, um, cottages, and of course residential homes. So I get a call from one of my clients, and this happened literally last week, where he's phoning and he goes, "Rolf, I've rented out my property and the guy won't leave." And I said, "What do you mean he won't leave?" And he goes, "Well, he came on Thursday, paid a short-term rental to leave Sunday, and now it's Tuesday and he's still in my house and won't leave." And he goes, "And it gets better. The entire time he's been here, he's been walking around naked in my house." And I went, "What? Yeah, come on, naked?" He goes, "Yeah, he's naked." And I couldn't laugh. Thank God I was on the phone. I kind of had a little smirk because naked guy walking around the house on a Airbnb rental. It's like, what? So I say to him, "Well, what have you done to resolve your problem? Because I don't have the answers for you. I can make a couple of recommendations." So he said, "I don't know what to do. Have you phoned Airbnb?" And he said, "Yes, I called them." "What did they say?" "They couldn't help me. They couldn't do anything." And I said, "You're kidding me. You've got a guy naked walking around your house for 5 days, and for whatever reason, Airbnb can't help." He said, "That's right." So my advice was, well, since your naked tenant won't leave, why not call the City of Winnipeg Police Department and see if they would be willing to come to your residence. This is indecent exposure. And last time I checked, not that I checked, but it's against the law. So that's one thing you could do. The second thing you could do, if you heard that noise, I am outside. That's just the way it goes. Somebody was moving the garbage bins from the driveway onto the front of the street while I'm doing this. Yay. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So the other option I mentioned to him is, how big is this guy? Because why don't you get 2 or 3 of your biggest friends to come over and escort the naked guy out of your house? And my client says, "Well, he's a pretty big guy." And I went, "What do you mean by that?" "Tall, big, not big." Anyway, I don't know if that was appropriate or not, but I'm in the moment. So I was able to speak with him a few days later, and sure enough, he called the police. The police thankfully was able to remove the naked tenant. My recommendation to anybody that is looking to do Airbnb short-term rentals in your home or on one of your properties that you have just for that purpose, spend a little extra time to maybe do a little bit of due diligence before you agree to rent out your property. Because in this scenario, with naked tenant guy at the Airbnb, it actually cost the owner more in the end than what he got in rental fees. The second tales from the dark basement is home inspections. You know, with the aggressive market that we've been having, the shortage of listings, there have been home buyers that have decided not to put a home inspection in their conditions when buying a home. And, you know, probably the majority of the time that'll work out okay. But the horror stories that I get on the phone calls that I get, and I'll share one call that I received, and the story went like this. Hi, Rolf, my name is yada yada. And remember me? You and I had talked, as a neighbor driving by, you and I had talked a few months ago, and I had mentioned to you that I was happy with the agent that I have. And I said, yes, I remember talking to you. And how'd things go? And he said, well, that's why I'm calling you, is I need some advice. And I go, well, what kind of advice would you need? You should talk to your agent about it. Well, so I bought a house. Didn't get a home inspection. I have a $40,000 basement repair. I'm confronted with a faulty basement. And I said, okay, why, for the life of Jesus, did you not get a home inspection? And of course, the home buyer responded with, well, we were bidding for the property and I didn't want to lose out. And so we removed that condition to my regret. And sadly, he is correct, to his regret. It is aggressive with the market. Take your time. And something I always recommend, if you're going to start looking for a house and you have a deadline date that you must move by, have a plan B. And what I mean by plan B is have somewhere else you could live short term until you find your perfect home. Because to not put in a financing condition when you need a mortgage, not to put in a home inspection to make sure the home is the right home for you and you can live with whatever, there's no perfect house. If you can live with the defects of the house, you need to discover that by virtue of having that inspection. Always remember there will always be another home versus a $40,000 repair. So that's my tales from the dark basement, and hope you enjoyed these true stories that actually happened, and they both just happened recently right here in Winnipeg. If you have any questions, please call, text, email me anytime at Rolf Hitzer behind the for sale sign.